你拿不这个，我用哪个？
স্ট্যান্ডটা থাকছে না, স্ট্যান্ডটা থাকছে না, এটা যখন হবে
লক 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 আছে দেখো, এদিকে ওদিকে আছে লক।
Very good morning, nuns of the order. Dr. Karan Singh, Pandit Vijay Kichlu, revered Swamis Bhajanananda Ji, Swami Sarvabhutananda Ji, Pandit Abhijit Banerjee, Professor Ramanand Dasgupta, ladies and gentlemen. We've all assembled today to deliberate on something that is very live, something that is, in Bangla we say shashwata, that has been handed down to us through generations in time. We are here to deliberate on, to discuss on the concept of Indian traditions in search of unity through music. Music, as you know, speaks a universal language. Music binds us together. As a country, as a nation, in spite of various other differences, there is a fabric of unity which binds us together in spiritual, in religious, in socio-cultural life. And how has the universal language of music been responsible in doing this? What are the Indian traditions behind this? This and much more we are here to deliberate today and tomorrow in the presence of some of the most erudite scholars in this avenue. We shall begin the seminar, the two-day seminar, to celebrate the 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, himself a messiah of music, himself such a talented musician, to whom music was like worship, music was like prayer. We shall begin the day with Vedic chanting by the monks and brahmacharis.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananaham Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatana Shrinvannutibhis Siddhasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Vajinivati Dhinama Vitravatu Ano Divo Grihata Parvatada Saraswati Yajata Gantu Yagyam Vagdevyai Namaha Shambhave Namaha Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha Om Sangachadvam Samvadadvam Sangho Manangsi Janatam Deva Bhagai Yatha Purve Saranjanana Upasate Samano Mantras Samitis Samani Samanam Manassaha Chittamesham Samanam Mantra Madhimantra Eva Samane Navo Havisha Juhomi Samani Vahapudis Samana Hridayani Vaha Samanamastu Mano Yatha Vasu Sahasati Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
We shall now felicitate the honorable guests on the dais with books and flowers. First, Dr. Karan Singh. Dr. Karan Singh, Sadr Riyasat and former governor of Jammu and Kashmir, and also the former envoy of India to the United States, prolific author and scholar. Pandit Vijay Kichlu, a doyen of the Agra Gharana, Swami Bhajanananda Ji, himself an erudite scholar in music and Assistant Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission. Pandit Vijay Kichlu, doyen of the Agra Gharana, equally proficient in Dhrupada and Khayal. Musicologist, a great friend of all musicians. Pandit Abhijit Banerjee, most eminent tabla player and one of the brains behind this conference. Professor Omlan Dasgupta, musicologist and one of the most celebrated professors of English. I shall request revered Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, Swami Sarvabhutanandaji Maharaj, for his welcome address.
জীবনদা কোনটা আছে লাগানো নতুনটা মানে এক্সট্রা দিছি এক্সট্রা মানে না ওটা আমার চলবে না তারা
जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. Most revered Srimad Swami Bhajananand Ji Maharaj, Assistant Secretary, Ramakrishna Martin Ramakrishna Mission, Belur Math. Honorable Dr. Karan Singh Ji, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, respected Pandit Vijay Kumar Kichlu, Pandit Abhijit Banerjee, Professor Amlan Dasgupta, esteemed educationists, musicians from different parts of the country, respected monks and nuns, and devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. I, on behalf of the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, and on my own behalf, heartily welcome all of you. To commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture has taken up various plans and programs in a very large scale. As a part of these programs, we have already organized 2 national seminars. First, positive psychology. Second, significance of the ideas of Swami Vivekananda in the modern age. And the cultural unity of India. Today, we are organizing a music seminar entitled Indian Tradition in Search of Unity Through Music, with the idea to explore and expand Swamiji's powerful thoughts on music to the common people, which we presume is very much relevant today. Swami Vivekananda himself was an accomplished musician. His talent flowered in several dimensions. Swami Vivekananda was not only a gifted musician, he was also a composer of songs, a music critic, and teacher of music. At the age of 23, he authored a well-known title, Sangeet Kalpataru, along with Vaishnav Charan Bosak. Its thought-provoking introduction drew attention of music lovers. In Swamiji's remarked one place, he told, unless one's artistic sensibilities develop, one cannot be truly spiritual. In Indian music, one finds harmony with words, tune, rhythm, tempo, and aesthetics, sentiments, and moods. This is true of both classical and popular music. Only the focus on some aspect varies. Like his master, Vivekananda's emphasis was always on the idea that a particular song expressed and also the mood of its outcome. That is why both of them admired Kirtan. Moreover, Swami Vivekananda brought an appreciative understanding between the Eastern and Western approaches to music. It is appropriate that the Institute organizes this grand seminar on Indian tradition in search of unity through music on Swami Vivekananda's 150th birth anniversary celebration. No wonder this seminar has attracted here so many talented musicians and academicians, music lovers all over the country to pay their homage to Swami Vivekananda. We are grateful to them. We are thankful to all who helped us in organizing this seminar. We sincerely hope that these 2 days of lively academic discussions will definitely encourage to the sincere learners to further their research with a renewed vigor. We are grateful to Ministry of Culture, Government of India, New Delhi for extending their financial support to this seminar. So now I extend a heart welcome to all the speakers, coordinators, musicians, music lovers, participants, observers, audience of this international seminar. May the blessings of Swami Vivekananda be on us all. I hope that the seminar will be successful. Once again, I welcome you all. Dhanyavad, Namaskar. Jayantu Swamiji.
We thank revered Swami Sarvabhutanandaji Maharaj. Pandit Abhijit Banerjee, renowned tabla exponent, will now tell us about the seminar.
Namaskar. Respected Swami Sarvabhutanandaji, respected Swami Bhajananandaji, Dr. Karan Singh, Mr. Vijay Kichlu, Pandit Vijay Kichlu, we call him Kichlu Sahab, and my Professor Omnand Dasgupta, and all the respected guests, Sanjay Da and everybody. Welcome to this session. I have been given the honor of speaking about the theme of this project, of this seminar. The language of music is universal, and thus music may be considered as one of the best ways to put the whole world on a single platform, on a pedestal of cosmopolitan brotherhood, helping us to forget the differences of castes, colors, races, and languages. In short, it's a way to establish universal brotherhood. Music helps man to manifest his aesthetic skill, helps man to dive deep into the mysteries of life, and open the door to the divine. Swami Vivekananda observed, unless one's aesthetic sensibilities develop, one cannot be truly spiritual. Music has two basic elements, melody and rhythm. Arrangements of these two in different forms makes it look different from each other. The appeal of Indian music and its growing popularity throughout the world is a proven fact and is known to everybody. The basic two elements of Indian music that it deals with are raga and tala. It is very difficult to explain in one word these two intrinsic elements of Indian music, Apparently, we can say that raga mainly represents the melody portion while tala deals with the rhythm. Indian music, or rather more specifically Indian classical music, has two main forms. North Indian, which is called Hindustani music, and South Indian or Carnatic music. Both of these forms comprises of raga and tala. Ragas and talas have their own mood and personality and aesthetic, and an artist is expected to exploit these two to create an ambience and elevate the listeners to a different celestial level. The essence of Indian music is intrinsically devotional. India has been a melting pot of cultures for ages. Music being one of the most prominent manifestations of culture, Indian music has gone through different reforms due to foreign invasions and thus was enriched in all possible ways. Started with Veda, it has gone through a tremendous Persian influence which brought about a big change in its forms and presentations, but yet the intrinsic devotional quality was maintained throughout. In Indian musical tradition, a religious harmony has been maintained throughout ages. The contributions of Bhakti and Sufism in the development of music are very important. The growth of Indian classical music has been a major force in India's cultural unity, or in broader sense, a total unity. The two major religions of India took a great role to contribute to our music in order to maintain the cultural harmony. While Swami Haridas groomed Mia Tansen, Ustad Alauddin Khan created disciples like Pandit Ravi Shankar. A 17th century ruler, Ibrahim Adil Shah II, tried to bring in cultural harmony between the Shias and Sunnis and between Hindus and Muslims through music. He wrote the book Aitab-e-Navras, a book on collection of songs on Hindu deities and Muslim saints. For decades, compositions have been sung in praises of gods and goddesses by Muslim singers and in praise of Hazrat Nizamuddin Auliya by Hindu singers. Even in today's music fraternity, religion is the least important factor of friendship between musicians. The intrinsic devotion quality is the main essence. We Indians boast of unity in diversity. Today's India needs more attention towards cultural harmony and unity. The youth should be more attracted to our own culture rather than being diversified and distracted by the harmful part of Western culture. The popular music and the classical music are shifting apart, thus the popular music which influences the mass is losing its Indian fervor and drifting away from its cultural root. It's a threat to the Indian unity. It's a threat to the unity of Indian diverse culture. Swami Vivekananda observed, music is the highest form of worship. His shining personality flowered in several dimensions. Besides being a leader, a reformer, an inspiration to millions, he was also a musician in his own right. His biography mentions, though Naren learned to play with mastery, pakhawaj, tabla, esraj, and sitar, his talent shone in vocal music. He was an accomplished singer, a gifted musician, and a composer, a music critic, and a teacher of music. For him, religious temper and music were two sides of the same act of self-realization. So to commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Institute of Culture organizes this grand music seminar entitled Indian Music in Search of Unity Through Music, with an idea to explore and expand Swamiji's powerful thoughts on music to the common people, which we presume is very much relevant in today's modern India. Thank you very much.
We shall now hear Srimad Swami Bhajananand Maharaj, Assistant Secretary of the Ramakrishna Math Mission, with inaugural address.
Honorable Dr. Karan Singh, Swami Sarvabhutananda Ji, and other monastic brothers, Sannyasini Matajis, Pandit Vijay Kumar Kichlo, Pandit Abhijit Banerjee, and Professor Amlan Das Gupta, all the distinguished musicians and scholars and all the other distinguished participants in this seminar. It is a matter of joy and privilege for me to participate in this seminar on an important theme which is of perennial relevance and interest: Indian traditions in search of unity through music. But standing before this august assembly of great musicians and learned musicologists is a humbling experience for me. However, an epigram, a cryptic statement made by the famous Sri Lankan-born American art critic and historian Ananda Kumar Swami gives some justification for my attempting to give this talk here. Ananda Kumar Swami said, "An artist is not a special kind of man, but every man is a special kind of artist. Every one of us is a special kind of artist, a special kind of musician, even though we may not be able to sing well." This statement reminds us of Swami Vivekananda's famous definition of education. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. This definition applies not only to education, but also to all disciplines, all pursuits, science, social service, different branches of art, including music. The idea is it is the power of Brahman, the power of God, that works through all people. Only in ordinary people like us, this divine power remains in an undeveloped and potential form. Whereas in the case of those who achieve greatness, those who through proper discipline and hard work attain distinction in different fields, especially in the field of music, this divine power gets fully manifested. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev used to say, there is a special manifestation of divine power in those who distinguish themselves in singing and playing instruments. Sri Ramakrishna Dev himself was a divine singer. He was born with extraordinary talent for music and other fine arts. Master Mahashay, the author of Kathamrita, describes Sri Ramakrishna Dev's voice as Deva Nindita Kantha and Gandharva Nindita Kantha. About Swami Vivekananda's voice, Master Mahashay writes that he had never heard anyone singing so beautifully except Sri Ramakrishna. The musical legacy of Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji is a living tradition in the Ramakrishna movement. The monks of the Ramakrishna order are not dry gyanis. Devotional music plays an important role in the spiritual life of the monks. It is the experience of all people that music spontaneously raises the mind to an ethereal world of pure joy. This world has no limits or boundaries. Western music and Indian music constitute the two main realms of this world. Outside the Western world, India is the only country which has established an independent, highly developed, self-contained system in science of music. Indian music is based on melody or raga, whereas Western music is based on harmony. As Swami Vivekananda has stated elsewhere, Western music and Indian music, each of them is great in its own place. The Swamiji had high opinion for Western music and Western musicians. When he was leading a wandering life, he had kept with him three books. One is a book on Gita, copy of the Gita, copy of Imitation of Christ, and a book on Western music in French language. At present, the Indian music is facing the challenge of Western music, especially in the upper strata of Indian society. The Western rock music is posing a great challenge. I believe there will be some discussion on the relative merits of these two realms of music in the present seminar. As a self-contained, independent system, Indian music has certain unique and distinctive features. One such feature is unity in diversity. This is the main theme of this seminar as I understand it. Unity in diversity is a foundational principle in every field of Indian culture. Music is one of the major forces unifying the minds of all Indians without any distinction of caste, religion, region or language. From their childhood, all Indians get oriented to the Indian system of music. In this way, music helps a great deal in creating a collective national consciousness, a total Indian identity which is very much necessary to protect and sustain the integrity of our nation. Another unique feature of Indian music is that it has for its foundation an advanced system of philosophy. It is this philosophy of Indian music is not confined to Indian music alone, but forms the universal foundation or provides an universal foundation for all systems of music in the world. Just to tell a few words about this philosophy of music that we have developed in India. We live in two worlds. One is the world of forms and images, nama rupa, rupa. This is known as the rupa prapancha in the tantras. The other is the world of words and sounds. This is the nama prapancha. The ancient sages of the Upanishads found that the world we see is ever-changing and impermanent. Behind and beyond this world, there is the unchanging, eternal, ultimate reality known as Brahman, which is of the nature of pure consciousness. Another view was propounded in the 3rd or 4th century BC by Bhartrhari. According to him, behind this world, this Nama Prapancha, there is an ultimate reality which is of the nature of Dhvani, or the causal sound. He called it Shabda Brahman. All the sounds we hear with our ears is caused by the striking of two objects, and therefore is called Ahata Shabda. Shabda Brahman is Anahata Dhvani, unstruck sound. It is not produced by the striking of any objects. From time immemorial, this Anahata Shabda Brahman has been indicated by Om. All words are expressions of this Om or Shabda Brahman. Music is a melodic expression of this Anahata, Dhvani and Shabda Brahman. Around the 9th century AD, some great mystics in Kashmir developed the idea that the ultimate reality is of the nature of subtle causal vibrations known as Spanda. The Tantras called the ultimate reality Nada Brahman. We have with us a distinguished representative of the great culture of Kashmir, the Kashmir Shaivism, in the person of our Dr. Karan Singh here. Music is a harmonious expression of this Nada Brahman. What are called ragas or melodies or certain rhythms in this Nada Brahman. Great music composers discovered these cosmic rhythms. Great musicians also, when they sing ragas, attune themselves to the rhythms of Nada Brahman. This is the objective or the ontological aspect of the philosophy of music. This takes us to the subjective or the epistemological aspect of the philosophy of music. If the question arises, how do we know? How do we become aware of music in us? How does a musician sing? From the very ancient times, it was discovered in India that all verbal knowledge is the expression of a mental power known as Vak or Vak Shakti. Music is the simplest and primordial form of Vak. Vak Shakti is only a refined form of Prana Shakti, which is stored as Kundalini in the bottom of the spinal column. Vak Shakti expresses itself in 4 stages known as Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikari. Normally, Vak Shakti flows through the side channels known as the Ida and Pingala. Ordinary talk and thinking make the Ida and Pingala disharmonious. This makes the mind restless. But when we sing or when we listen to good music, the Ida and Pingala work harmoniously and the mind becomes calm. In this way, music is a great help in making the mind calm and also helps us to go beyond mind and realize Nada Brahman. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Gane Ram Prashant Siddha, Vyapal Bhoye Gan Gaile, Ishwar Darshan Hai. Mane Ram Prasad attained perfection through singing. If one sings with intense longing for God, one gets direct vision of God. Swami Vivekananda, while traveling in India as a parivrajak, had a wonderful experience in Almora when he sat there for meditation under a banyan tree. In that experience, the mystery of Vak and Vak Shakti and how Vak Shakti expresses itself as knowledge in this universe was revealed to Swamiji. Music in India is meant not only for enjoyment. Music is also a spiritual discipline. Music can also be a means of attaining the realization of God realization or mukti. The real unity of India is spiritual unity. Underlying all the diversities of Indian culture, there is a vast realm of spirituality, spiritual unity in India. Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda have rejuvenated this India's ancient spiritual heritage. People had almost forgotten it. Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda have restored the spiritual unity of India. Music unifies all people in India in spite of all the distinctions of caste, religion, etc. It is a natural and popular means of strengthening the spiritual unity of India. It is therefore fit and proper that the seminar on music is held as a part of the celebration of Swami Vivekananda's 150th anniversary. On behalf of the authorities of Ramakrishna Math and Mission Development, I also extend a welcome to all of the participants and also express our gratitude to all the distinguished musicians and musicologists who are taking part in this seminar. Thank you all. Namaskar.
We thank Srimad Swami Bhajananandaji Maharaj for his very inspiring inaugural address. We shall now hear the presidential address from noted musicologist, a doyen of the Agra Gharana, Pandit Vijay Kumar Kishnu.
Honorable Dr. Karan Singh Ji, Swami Bhajananand Ji Maharaj, Swami Sarvabhutanand Ji Maharaj, Professor Amlan Das Gupta, Pandit Abhijit Banerjee, ladies and gentlemen. We have gathered here to celebrate Swami Vivekananda Ji's 150th birth anniversary. A great soul never dies. For the world, he may have died in 1902 at the age of 39 years. But as a cricketer, I would say he is 150 not out today and very much alive through Ramakrishna Mission. He could not have estimated his influence during his lifetime, which has engulfed the entire world today. Swami Vivekananda is remembered today as a saint, as a spiritualist, as a writer, as a speaker, as a Masiha of the poor, as an organizer. He was all this, but also a great visionary, a great musician who endeavored to seek unity through music. And this is what Ramakrishna Mission has desired to project through this seminar, in which some of the finest intellectuals of our nation are participating. I am very grateful to Dr. Karan Singh Ji, one of the finest intellectuals and highly respected dignitaries of our country, for having accepted our invitation to inaugurate the seminar and deliver the keynote address today. Swami Bhajananand Ji Maharaj and Pandit Abhijit Banerjee have very competently given the strength of Indian music in quite details. And aptly, Abhijit Banerjee aptly described in his speech how the Bhakti movement and Sufism through music have a major force in India's cultural unity in a broader sense. Swami Vivekananda was a serious and competent musician, a staunch devotee and practitioner of Dhrupad, as well as someone who was very capable of handling several musical instruments also. As a visionary, he believed that music was one of the strongest forces to bring our cultural harmony. I would in addition like to point out that the Muslim rule in our country was well established by 12th and 13th century. This was the time of Amir Khusro, who was one of the greatest poets and musicians in history. That is when the seeds of Persian, Turkish, and Arabic music started to influence our music, even though the style Khayal Gaiki, which was an amalgamation of ancient Indian music and the Muslim influence, took its final shape only by 18th century. The period of dominance of Dhrupad was between the 14th and 18th centuries. Dhrupad was not just a style or form of singing. Its lyrics were all in praise of our gods and goddesses, and still are. History shows that Muslim and Mughal rulers did not, rather could not destroy Dhrupad, but adopted it in its entire purity, even though they destroyed our temples and many other institutions of our country as any conqueror would do. It was only our music they could not destroy, but used it as a force of cultural unity to such an extent that many of the Muslim rulers, like Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah, Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, and many others, became learned exponents of our traditional art. We know that the greatest Dhrupad exponent, Mian Tansingh, was the court musician of Emperor Akbar. And not only that, there were so many other musicians as in his court. And in fact, today it has become a kind of a fashion for every musician to trace its lineage back to the court of Emperor Akbar. My own Gandhaband gurus were Ustad Nasir Aminuddin Khan Sahab Dagar and Ustad Latafat Khan Sahab of Agra Gharana. They were extremely loving and caring as far as I was concerned. I remember Latafat Khan Sahab used to come to my house, sit down and cry. बेटा मेरे पास ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं है, कुछ और सीख लो, जितना सीख सकते हो ले लो. This was the kind of emotional bond that music created between Hindus and Muslims. One of the greatest musicians, one of the greatest legends of our music, Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, used to say, if there had been one classical musician in each family of all those living in India, this country would never have been divided, partitioned. This seminar, Indian Traditions in Search of Unity Through Music, arranged by Ramakrishna Institute of Culture, carries much significance. My core committee, which planned the entire program, consists of very eminent and learned members in the field of music. I am grateful for the hard work they have put in. I am thankful to all the distinguished participants who will be reading their papers in the seminar. I have no doubt that their deliberations will prove extremely valuable and useful for posterity. Thank you.
Thank you, Pandit Vijay Kumar Kichlu. We now go to the keynote address by Sadr Riyasat and former Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, former Indian Ambassador to the United States, one of the most erudite scholars we have today, Dr. Karan Singh.